Okay, so this week's episode of Crew from Hell 2.0 is a very special day. Lamb of God, Mastodon, Kerry King, and Malevolence came out to Austin, Texas for their second show of their tour. So I got to go hang out with everybody, and I did a couple interviews, and I didn't get all the interviews I wanted to. There's a lot of people I love and wanted to talk to. I didn't have a chance to. Darren Sanders, Bubbers, and P. King. I wanted to interview you all, but I'll catch you as soon as I can. I did have time to interview Alan Sosa and Carlos Newberry from Lamb of God, and I had a fun hangout with friends, and I watched Mastodon from the crowd, which was great. Everybody else I was on deck for. But what a fun episode, what a fun day it was, and I hope you enjoy it. I pieced together a fun thing from a fun day with some really great dudes. So, special episode, Crew from Hell 2.0, Mastodon, Lamb of God, Kerry King, Malevolence. Enjoy. All right, well, I'm out here on deck. I'm hanging out with Carlos over here. He's tuning them up. Lamb of God just finished their sound check. And Mastodon is on the way up. So here's what it's looking like so far out there on deck. Changing out kits, changing out rigs, changing out stages. And it's going to be a good show tonight. We got Lamb of God, Mastodon, Kerry King. There's the Lamb. But doing a lot of hanging out. Stage right crew.
Always, baby.
That's right.
Right there.
The Stage Right crew. It's right there. So we'll be bringing the show here from Germania Amphitheater, Austin, Texas, F1 track today.
Best show on fucking YouTube.
That's right. Right on. Thanks,
Right.
bro. Sitting here with Max. He's tuning up Phil Demmel's guitars for the Kerry King show. Right on, brother. How long have you been doing this? Don't look, it's Phil.
How long?
Yeah, how long have you been doing this for Phil?
For Phil? Couple weeks.
Couple weeks.
Couple
All right.
weeks.
All right. So fairly new.
Fairly new.
All right. And what an awesome gig, huh?
Dude, like
He
he
ain't
said,
listening. Phil's gone.
you know, he's built for comfort, not speed.
Yeah, he
so
is.
it's good.
Right on. Beautiful guitars. I bet they're easy to work on.
Yeah, they behave, and I love them for that.
Yeah, they do.
Absolutely.
Excellent work.
It's hot. Our gear got rained on, but we're
Yeah.
still winning.
Winning. Show number 2. There's a whole lot to go. This is Max. Works for Phil. Doing the Kerry King Jam. All right. Thanks, brother. Showing off one of Willie's ESPs.
Signature model.
Signature
Warbird.
model. That's right.
Relict.
Warbird Relics. Sweetheart. Look at that
Next
girl.
one.
Ooh. Yeah.
We got 52 to 11s on this dude.
That's right.
We run 52 to 11s on this tour.
Yep.
And 54 to 12s.
Yep.
And was the same drop D for the whole Ashes to Wake.
Right on.
So, yeah.
Awesome.
Works good.
Excellent
These
stuff.
guitars are so wonderful to work on.
They're awesome.
Heavy.
Yeah.
Want to buy one?
That's the way to go. That's right. No joke. Thanks, Carlos. Right on. Really?
1, 2, 3, 4.
All right.
Open the door.
We are in here with Carlos Newberry, my new great friend from last few years, Lamb of God, Pantera touring, and we're here in Austin, and he's Stage Right crew.
All the way, every day.
Stage Right crew. He's out here taking care of the Lamb of Gods. He takes care of Willie and John, and he's on Stage Right, and he's a fantastic fella, a great player, and a funny motherfucking great friend. And Carlos, introduce yourself, brother.
Carlos.
That's
in Kansas
right.
City.
I'm Carlos.
Hey, I'm Carlos. It works. Trust
It
me.
does work. Well, Carlos, I know you've done a million gigs, but let's make a quick step up. Let's go back a few gigs to what led you to the Lamb of God gig that you're doing now.
I started working with Death, DTA, Steve
Yeah.
DiGiorgio,
Yeah.
who then brought me into Testament.
Okay.
And I worked with Testament for right about 7 or 8 years.
Yeah.
And then the opportunity arose to step up here to the Lamb of God gig.
Nice.
I knew Brian Griffin, our tour manager from back in the day when I was playing music. He actually recorded one of our demos in Chicago.
Awesome.
And so we go a long way back and had a really tight connection. and we did the Slayer tours with Testament, Anthrax, Lamb of God, and Slayer, and I really befriended Willie, and I and John really bonded.
Sure.
And we had kind of a special bond, and when the opportunity arose, I definitely wanted to take advantage of it and
Absolutely.
move up.
I could tell that bond y'all have on Stage Right. I mean, there's a lot of love over there, and
Well,
I
you
got
know.
the opportunity to be a part of that Stage Right crew.
Stage
That's right.
right crew,
And
right there, every day.
yeah, man. But no, he takes really good care of the fellas, and we were just partners on Stage Right for the last almost 2 years
Yeah.
of Lamb of God and Pantera touring, and we just have a blast all the time, every night. And geez, man, what got you into the biz to begin with? I mean, you're a player, but what got you into the teching part?
Well, I'm a bass player all my life, and then I retired from playing in, I think, 95, and had a couple of kids, got married, moved to the lake.
Right.
And the opportunity arose with Steve through a friend of mine, and I was like, you know, why not give it a try? I always
Right.
thought I knew how to handle equipment, how to handle guitars and basses.
Yeah, you're a player.
I knew what I expected out of my techs.
Right.
And I knew I could deliver that, and I love music and tinkering with the guitars.
Yeah.
And really kind of exploded on me. I
Sure.
really started excelling at it.
Yeah.
And I think with what we do, man, I mean, I'm not the best tech out there. I try to create an atmosphere for my guys when they come out every day that's the same routine, same area, same fun.
Yes.
And have a positive vibe. We burn incense.
Yes.
We ward off all the bad juju.
That's right.
And like I tell the guys all the time, we are ambassadors for this band.
That's right.
And we're the first ones that the local guys that work their asses off and help us bring all our shit in and
Yes.
set it up.
Yes.
We're the first ones they meet, and we're the last ones they see when they leave.
Yeah.
And if we've got a shitty attitude or don't bring the positive attitude that I think the band deserves to be represented by, then fuck it, go home. I mean,
What a great way to say it, man.
that's what it's all about, and I put that into my world. And we have a area that when you walk into it, we've got all kinds of little trinkets.
Beelzy
Brought
bobblehead.
some of my stuff.
Oh, yeah.
We burn our
That's right.
nog,
It smells so good over on Stage
and
Right.
we have a good atmosphere that we create for the band, so that when they come out, they're not stressed. They don't worry about if sounds right or if the crowd's not what we expected.
Right.
They feel at home.
Right.
The same every day.
Yes.
And they're able to go out and perform, and they're incredible artists and do what they're great at and not have to worry about anything else.
Yeah. What a great way to say
And
it.
you are exemplary to that, because I watched you every day, and what you do for Rex is amazing as well.
Well, thank you,
And
Carlos.
I have an immense amount of respect, and I look up to you a lot for that.
Well, thank you.
And really do a fine job, and that's why we bonded immediately. I mean, me and this guy immediately met, and it was like we were brothers.
That's true.
I mean, we
Day
hugged
one.
immediately. And,
Day one.
And we're exchanging things.
That's
and
right.
Have helped each other out in professional ways with
Absolutely.
our vendors and everything.
Yeah, with vendors, with gear, with like, hey man, I need a thing. You got a thing? Yeah, here's a thing.
Here's a
the
new
you're done.
cleaner. Here's a new technique to do this or that.
Yeah,
and,
it's true.
And we just have a special bond, man. That's awesome.
We do, Carlos, and I absolutely love you for it. And it made my tour so much better, knowing that Carlos, unlike a lot of jobs that you do, if you're able to in this gig, if you're able to be the same guy and have the same temperament every day, people look up to that and they rely on that and they need that. And Carlos is definitely that guy. I try to be that guy every day. So on Stage Right, when we're working together all day from load in to load out, we do keep that calm, like you're saying.
Absolutely.
Because if we're freaking out, the artist is freaking out. So if we're not freaking out, the artist can go ahead and freak out, do whatever they want.
Yeah,
But,
and they very rarely do, because
true.
we get good pre-production. They give us the opportunity to be successful.
Yes.
The Lamb of God gives me the ability to build the racks, build the gear, have
Right.
it ready, so when we start tour, there is no doubt that I know if something's wrong, I pretty much know what it could be right away, because I've
Exactly.
spent time with it, I've built it, and I appreciate that opportunity that the band gives us in pre-production to do that.
Absolutely right.
And you guys are the same way, I know.
Yeah.
Because we worked at Lidditz
That's right.
side by side before we even knew each other.
That's right. With bands like this on this level, we get the opportunity to go to great places like Lidditz to set everything up before your first show. So you get to set up the gear. You get
stage, pyro.
And like you're saying, building the gear, making sure you get everything you need for the deck once you hit it on tour. And like he was saying, something goes wrong, he knows right where to go. He knows where the plumbing might have got cut off, or something that was acting funny yesterday. Okay, I know it's probably that tonight. But we're lucky enough to work for the guys that we work for and have the good gear that we have, because man, the instruments that these fellows play are top notch.
Absolutely. EBS, ESP, Mesa Boogie.
Right.
I mean, the list goes on. SansAmp.
Right.
It's remarkable. The sponsor of
the Quad Cortexes.
Quad Cortexes.
It's amazing.
I mean, we've got radio engineering.
Yeah.
I mean, there's so many people that are a support team behind us techs.
Right.
That give us the ability to give the artists what they want. I mean, my guys, they tell me all the time, I don't even know how to turn my rig on.
Right. Right.
And not that they do, but
yeah,
we know these rigs so well because we've worked with the vendors to get this equipment to make us successful, to be able to give them what they need to go out there and perform. Just the simple things like switching guitars is not as easy as just handing a guitar off. There are switches that you have to switch. We've got, and with Willie Adler, I run 3 different amps. I have a Quad Cortex, I have a Mesa Boogie on stage, and I have a Mesa Boogie Mark IV that goes out the front of house. So I've got to manage all of those outputs, levels, and things, and the people that help us out, that help us with the equipment, are a big part of our success as well, I feel.
Right. Carlos is definitely that wizard behind the curtain, that there's a lot of switching going on, a lot of tones, a lot of things that the fellas need for a certain part of a song. Carlos is on it. He's switching in, switching out. And it's amazing to watch him work during the show. There's a lot going on that you don't see that Carlos is doing from the stage right. Because the fellas are out there without pedal boards, they're just out there doing their thing. So if they need a special effect on a song or on a part, he's on it and he's all over it. He's focused on the show, he's focused on the fellas, and 2 guys, not just one. That's hard to do for one guy and memorize all the parts and changes, but he's doing it for both.
Yeah, two is definitely a handful.
Yeah.
But the good thing with that is I got solid gear.
Yeah.
With John, with the EBS equipment that we get, it's so dependable in quality.
Right.
It's solid. I don't have to worry about it.
And that's the big thing, man, because we don't want to worry about it.
No.
We don't want to worry about some half-ass gear that's limping. Being on this level, we're able to switch something out if we need be. If something goes down, the vendor that makes it can send it out to us the next day or a day after or something. Give us backup things to have in case something goes out. I mean, it's really, I know we're blessed to be at the level we're at with the bands that we work for.
Absolutely.
Because it makes everything so much better.
Oh, absolutely.
Because that's our education, is growing up working for ourselves and other bands with the shittiest gear around and making it work.
When I first started playing bass, I didn't have money to afford a bass guitar or an amp. My family didn't have the money. So I had an old sound design stereo.
Yes.
And it had a microphone input.
Yes.
So I had a Tasco guitar, and I cut the bottom 2 strings off the guitar and made it a 4-string. And so that Tasco guitar became my bass, and my rig was the stereo, the 2 stereo speakers. That was my first rig, and that's what I started that's how I started building these rigs.
I love that story because my very first thing is my old man had a TAC reel-to-reel with the mic input, and I had a tube screamer and a Ventura Les Paul I bought from a record store, and boy, that was the best tone ever. Probably better than I even have now, but
anything that we could plug a 1/4-inch jack into, I got.
That is right. But you know, that's a great example of how it starts.
It is. It starts there, and now we have the opportunity, like you said, to work with the best equipment in the world.
Yes.
I mean,
yes.
And so that's a big part of the success is the work that goes on behind the scenes with building relationships with ESP, EBS, Mesa Boogie.
Thank you for bringing that up, because that is a part of the gig too. The vendors go to us, not necessarily the artist.
No.
So we are the ambassadors for a lot of different things.
Yeah.
So we wear a couple different ambassador hats.
Absolutely.
And definitely. Carlos and I both shared things with different things. A vendor that I may need something, he'll hook me up. A vendor that he needs something from somebody I got, I'll hook him up. And that's really how this works. And if you're able to do that, you will have success in this business.
Yeah.
A lot of people that watch the show, they're new, they want to know how to break into the biz. Well, it's tough, and you have to shadow somebody for a while and learn their craft or how they're doing it. And then eventually there'll be a show they can't do, and they'll call you because you've been shadowing. But it takes a lot of effort, and it takes a lot of patience to learn this craft.
Well, you know, a big part of it is your skill set.
Yeah.
And you have to have the skill set. You have to have the experience.
Yeah.
I mean, and you can't just get it. It's not something you go to school and get a degree for.
No.
It takes time.
Nobody teaches this.
But really, to me, what I've learned when I come into this business, and is the main thing, is you have to be able to build and maintain relationships.
That's it.
With the bus driver, with your fellow crewmates,
Right.
especially with your artist.
Yes.
And that takes time, and it takes someone that's willing not to get pissed off about things, to work things out, to solve things,
Yes.
to bring calm to a chaotic situation, which is what we do.
That's what
I
we
say
do.
all the time, we're trauma surgeons. We're like a
Sure.
trauma hospital out
Yes.
here. There are people that are family doctors that can build amps and electronically do this, or build guitars. I couldn't build a guitar or an
couldn't.
amp.
No.
My life depended on it. But
Definitely couldn't.
put me in a live situation where it's trauma, you have to have it going. It's right there.
Yeah.
And you can't panic. You can't freak out, because the artist will immediately, it affects your artist. When you,
Yeah.
I don't know, last thing you ever want to say
That's
to your
right.
artist. Ever.
That's right.
And being able to bring that and have relationships, I think, is the number one thing.
I love how you're talking about that, because yes, you can have the best gear in the world, which we do, but the relationships he's talking about is very important, all the way down to the vendors, to the artists, and during the show. And it's a, God, what is it? It's a confidence builder, something that you do have to earn, or it becomes part of your reputation.
Yeah.
Because people can call on Carlos, and he'll have a great rep, because all of his references will just tell whoever's looking for somebody how calm he is, how good he is, and he gets the job done. And that's really all an artist wants to hear. You know, it's like, you can be the greatest luthier in the world, but if you can't handle any stress in a live gig, you got no business being on deck.
It's very high stress.
Yeah.
Very high stress.
So
and even down to the truck drivers. I mean,
Yeah.
you think about it. Our truck driver, Hippie, you know, Willie has a warm-up amp that I set up every day.
yeah.
In the truck if we play outside, because Willie likes to be in the temperature that he's going to play.
Yeah.
And after the show, I'm tearing down not only one rig but 2 rigs and packing it up, and I'm the first in the truck, so I've got to get my shit tore down
Yeah.
and be the first in the truck.
Yeah.
And there's no opportunity for me to go take care of that practice amp, which is an amp, a cabinet, 2 guitars, cables, and a pedal.
Right.
It takes 15 minutes to go tear down, put up, and the time to get there and back.
Right.
There's no way I can do it. Hippie, our truck driver, him and I have such a good friendship and relationship. I taught him how to do it.
Yeah.
And Hippie takes care of that.
Oh,
Or
that's
Kyle, our
killer.
production manager,
That's
same thing. He's
cool.
like, show me what to do, Loves.
Right
And having those relationships makes people want to work together with you.
Man.
And that's what it's about, man.
It is what it's about.
Like I said, a lot of the stuff, I couldn't write it down in a book or a form to teach someone how to do it.
I think you're
It's
doing it now.
hands-on.
You're
It's
telling the
hands-on.
story.
But the thing that you got to have is that attitude and vibe,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
give the artist something that they look forward to coming out to, not that they dread or worry about coming out to.
That's right. So all of you that are looking for, insights on how to get it gigs like this, that's it. He's saying so many great things, because it is so people driven and people oriented that that's what it's about.
Absolutely.
And you are one of the best, Carlos.
You are the best.
Carlos is definitely an honorary crew from hell, because we spent a lot of time on the Pantera stage together.
Oh,
But,
amazing times.
Thanks for
Some
getting
of the best times of my life.
I'm so glad. Thanks for taking some time today, Carlos. It's a big deal. Seeing you, being able to hang out with you, and then getting time to interview. So, Carlos Newberry.
Come see the tour.
That's right. Come see the tour.
Right there, Lamb of God tattoo, baby. Ow!
That's right, Lamb of God. Come see it. Later. All right, we got a minute of quiet here on deck. We're sitting here with Alan. Takes care of Mark Morton over there on stage left. How you doing today, bro?
Good, you?
Yeah, man. Doing good. There's some watermelon delivery happening on this deck. But, yeah, I mean, it's the second show of the tour. There's not a whole lot to talk about yet, but sure is good to be here watching and hanging out with y'all today.
Yeah, likewise, man.
Yeah, bro.
It's been a while.
Yeah, man. Everything good over there, stage left?
Yeah. I mean, for a second show, so far, knock on wood.
Right. Good night last night in Dallas?
Yeah. And
right on.
Indoors with AC.
Indoors with AC.
For the 3 day, for show, you gotta go do pre-pro. It's always best.
That's right. We're all here together again, well, me, because we had Pantera and Lamb of God last time. And boy, it was a hot, crazy hot motherfucker out here last time. Familia. Soy familia.
My thermometer in my world last year, it was saying 145 degrees. I'm sure it was off. It was
so crazy hot.
Yeah.
I mean, it doesn't seem like it's that hot today, but
no, it's like 90s, 93.
And this fucking theater is designed like this, and that is west. So west comes this way and hits the deck, and it's crazy like that. But oh well, here we are. But Alan's a bad motherfucker. He's a great guitar player. And he's a good friend, and it's good to be here hanging out with him today. I don't have to work, they do, but they finished all their work already, so we're just here hanging out right now.
We only had like 5 hours to kill till show.
Only 5 hours till showtime.
Yeah.
All right. Well,
Life of a headliner.
Yes, right. The life of a headliner. All right.
5 hours of showtime.
Boy, there's Bubbs right there. What's happening, everybody? There's Bubbers over there. He's taking care of Mastodon over stage left.
And, yeah, that's right. Stage left for once.
That's right.
Stage left.
That's right. We're just sitting here jibber-jabbing with all the fellas. But it's a good day out here at the F1 track. It's going to be a good rock show. It's good to have some downtime and hang out with the fellas when I don't have to work, but they do. So, right on, y'all. Thanks for saying
Still sweaty.
I'm still sweaty. I'm a little sweaty. I'm trying to earn it best I can. Right on, folks. Good to see you, buddy. Right on. Much love from Austin, Texas. That's right. Cool. All right, sitting here with my good friend Alan Sosa. Me and Alan toured for the last almost 2 years with Lamb of God and Pantera, and now we're here hanging out. And Lamb of God is in Austin, and we're at the Germanium Amphitheater at the F1 track, and we're just catching up, man. We're having a chance to get away from the volume and talk about what we do and how we do it. I'm going to get very generic on you right now, but what got you into this biz? What got you into this teching world? You're a great guitar player, and I've heard you play a lot, and I've heard some stuff you do online, and it's amazing. You really are an awesome player. So I know how you got into teching, but what got you, let's just say, with the Lamb of God? What got you with Mark Morton?
Oh, as far as being with Lamb, well, I mean, it was just, I think, do you know Willie G?
Yes.
So, world famous, legendary guitar tech.
That's
one of my best friends. He's always been helping me in this business.
That's
and,
right.
He got me my first tour, and he got me like directly or indirectly, I got most of my tours thanks to him. And I think he heard that they were looking for somebody, and he's like, hey, are you interested? I'll throw your name in.
Okay.
And and I got the call.
That's awesome. That's how this biz works, doesn't it? I mean,
yeah, it's kind of hard to get started, but like once you start knowing people and they know that you can do your job, like it's just you get the ball rolling.
That's right. So what was some of the first things Willie hooked you up with, or what were you doing before you met Willie?
Well, like I moved to the States from Argentina 11 years ago now, I think, and I met him back in Argentina, and like he was there down with Megadeth, and he would let me go shadow him for a day, just he would teach me like how he does things like changing strings and just everything. I was already like kind of a nerd, just into gear and all that stuff.
Right.
And,
that's how we do. We nerd out on it. That's how we learn.
I think that's how we met. We were just talking gear before outside of a show, and he would teach me a few things, and like I think a week before moving to the States, he was already like recommending me for some tours. But he actually recommended me to a few, but it took a while for anybody to want to hire me because I had like no resume.
Okay.
So I think for a few years I was doing local shit, and eventually Willie did a tour with Marty Friedman.
Right.
And what happened? Yeah, so he did a tour with Marty Friedman, and then he had to go back to Megadeth, and
Yes.
so he recommended me, and it's easier to get when getting with like a club level band. You know, Marty at that time he was coming back to the States after like 10 years.
Right.
So he was doing clubs, and so yeah, I guess he was like, okay, if Willie recommends you, you're good.
That's right.
So he took me on my first tour, and then I did Prong, which indirectly came from Willie too. He
Okay.
recommended me to something else that led into that.
Right.
Prong led into Danzig, and with Prong I was with Art, who plays now drums
That's right.
for Lamb of God.
That's right.
So we were
That's
both
how I
in
met
that.
Art. I was working with Superjoint Ritual, and Prong was out, and Prong Danzig. Superjoint Prong
Oh,
Danzig.
yeah, that's right.
So that's how I met Art.
Oh, I had no idea you were in that.
Yeah, I
Alright.
did a tech on that.
Nice.
Yeah, that was good. So now let's talk more about the Marty Friedman thing, because
Yeah.
as a player, I want people to know your connection with Marty and what you've done.
Well, I mean, it was a good coincidence that he was one of my favorite players too.
Yes.
Growing up,
Yes.
so that was a pretty cool first gig, and it kind of evolves, you know. Like the first gig is just to know each other, you get to know each other,
Yeah.
and you get to know his playing. But after a certain point, he trusted me. I could kind of play some of his stuff. I wouldn't say I played like him, but I can.
Those are big shoes.
Well, it's easy to copy a solo, not to like improvise like him maybe, but I can like play some of his stuff.
Okay.
So it got to a point where he knows I could set up the rig the way he likes it,
Right.
his monitoring. So
Right.
yeah, he would just let me do it. He even like let me jam with him a few times.
That's so great.
In a couple shows.
See, that's what I was getting at.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah,
That's a big deal.
yeah, because he has a spot in the show where he get pulled somebody from the audience.
Yeah.
And one time at the last show of the tour, he's like, "Okay, you're coming up today." I was like, "Oh, really? Okay."
That's a good feeling, isn't
Yeah,
it?
it's
Yeah.
it was scary, but yeah, it was a good
man.
feeling.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
It's similar with Down. I worked for Down for so long, and when Kirk Winstein left, they brought me right in
Yeah.
to play guitar. So very similar
Yeah.
to that. You're there, you're the guy, you already know the stuff, and
Yeah.
yeah. Well, that's awesome. I love how that works out. And well, what turned you into such a great guitar player that you are?
Practicing?
Practicing,
I mean,
sure.
I mean,
Formal education?
I don't think anyone ever completely satisfied with their playing.
No.
Like,
True.
I'm kind of happy with how I play, but I just see at the people I look up to. I'm like, oh fuck, I'm never gonna make it there.
Well,
Like,
all right, all right.
it's
Well, you
good.
see a lot of great
it's-
players because you're
yeah.
out on such big tours, and that's where they are.
Yeah.
You know, for sure. But any formal education? I mean,
Yeah, I had a few teachers starting out, but
Mm-hmm.
I would say mostly on the first years, and then I think it was mostly like self-taught. You know,
Yeah.
just like learning songs, playing with bands, and
right.
just learning songs. When I moved to LA, I tried taking a few lessons with random people.
Mm-hmm.
Took lessons with Bruce Bouillet, who used to play with Paul Gilbert in Razor X.
Oh shit! Right on.
I went like 3-4 times with him.
Okay, great.
That was pretty cool, and
That's super cool.
you just
Well,
yeah.
Yeah, well, playing is teching and playing are two different things, but it's essentially the same kind of thing where you make yourself friendly with somebody, you get with them, and you either end up in their band or as a tech for them.
Yeah.
And the self-educated guitar player is much like the self-educated
Yeah.
tech, because you go out and do it to learn it. You don't, there's no formal school to
Yeah.
really learn what we do.
Yeah, it just figure it out. You know, I think you just gotta be a person with good common sense and be
Yes.
like a problem solver.
Yes.
Especially nowadays, you can go on your phone and Google stuff, and
Right.
you can figure almost anything out.
Sure.
if you're handy.
Sure. Well, that's awesome.
But about the playing, I would say just being around people like Marty, and there's this guy I take a lot for called Rafael Moreira. He's from Brazil but lives in LA.
Okay.
He did like all the American Idol, Rockstar in Excess,
Oh, wow.
The Voice, all that stuff. He's like a session guy.
Yeah.
And I take the log for him too, and he's like unbelievable too.
Awesome.
So when you're around all those people, it's hard to not like, it kind of rubs a little off. Like,
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, that's great. It rubs off,
Yeah.
and and it
And
turns
these guys too, you know, like pretty often I'm sound checking for Mark and
Yeah.
all that Riot had stuff and all this riffing.
Yeah. Yeah, for
it's something
sure.
I wasn't used to doing that much,
right.
and I'm slowly picking it up.
The machine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're trying to copy, you know, your artist, you know, to kind of like
Yes.
emulate the sound. It doesn't work if I go play bossa nova, you know, for
Of
the love
course.
of God. So
Of course. Right.
yeah.
Or all the good Toto you like.
Oh yeah. Fuck yeah.
Big Toto fan right
Yeah,
here. He likes to
number
play
one.
that. That's right.
Yeah.
Well, that's great, man. I mean, I know that there are a lot of gigs that you're up for and you want to get, and as you move up the ladder. But you're in a great spot right now with Lamb of God. What
Yeah.
a great band to be out with. A bunch of great guys, and we certainly had a great time the last year and a half, 2 years. Did we
Yeah.
do 2 years?
No, I think it was a year ago.
year
we
ago
were
we started.
starting our first run.
Okay.
That was like I think August, September, something like that.
Yeah.
And then we did February.
Okay.
Yeah, and then Australia in March.
Yeah.
Yeah, so about a year.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Well, the good thing about Alan is that he's a good bro, and with our two families of Lamb and God and Pantera, we made fast friends, and everybody helped each other and had a good time, and it's good to be out here today,
Yeah.
hanging out with the fellas again.
Yeah.
And here we are. Much love
Fuck
to you,
yeah.
brother. And
Love you, bro.
it's going to be a great night tonight with a bunch of great bands. Lamb of God, Mastodon, Kerry King,
Malevolence.
what he said,
Yeah.
Malevolence.
Yeah.
And everything's good, but that's Alan Sosa right here. He's a good dude. He's a great tech. He's a great guitar player. It's just
Likewise,
good to have
brother.
some time with him. Honorary crew from hell. So
Yeah.
that's
Still
why-
waiting on my T-shirt, my crew shirt.
Okay. Yeah, we're all waiting on their shirts.
Yeah.
All right. Well, much love, Alan. Thanks.
Okay.
We're here with Carlos at the rig. So what's going on here, stage right
Well,
crew
it's kind
rig?
of cold in Texas. I gotta have my fleece. It's only what?
Yeah, well, there's
98.
that. Yeah,
It's hot, motherfucker.
it is hot.
We'll start here at my workbench.
Yeah.
This is where everything happens every day.
Yes.
With detune or retune, restring guitars every single day.
Yes.
They have to have fresh strings.
Yes.
So everything happens here. All my supplies, tools that we may or may not need,
Yes.
towels, cleaning shit, strings,
Yes.
everything that you may need on the road. You kind of gotta have.
You gotta have it.
And of course, hot tamales.
That's hot tamale.
You know, just got our supplies in here.
Yeah.
One thing that I did have to do with John here is I score his picks,
Yes.
which gives him grip. So the picks normally come flat and clean. So I take a scorer, this little tool here, and I scratch 8 scratches at each side, which gives it grip. So it's 16 scratches per pick, and I do 40 picks a day.
All right.
So my forearms are pretty strong.
Yes.
So anyway, all this stuff's in here for that.
Right.
We have the spiritual good luck stuff,
That's right.
and of course you gotta have lighting because it gets dark.
Yes.
And we'll move over here to the guitar vault.
Yes.
And this is where all the action is.
Yes.
Willie's signature Warbirds. This one tonight, a lucky fan has bought as a VIP, so Willie's going to play this on Redneck.
Awesome.
And then they'll get it signed after the show.
That's right.
John's signature ESP basses.
Yes.
And they all live here in a nice vault that keeps them safe and clean from the elements. Well, clean as they get after a sweaty show.
That's right.
This is where it is. And then, of course, we have Lammy that was brought to us by Bobby himself.
Lammy.
Yeah, you've probably seen that.
Yeah.
So anyway, this is Willie's rig.
Right.
Pretty easy. Front of house is the old Mark IV Mesa Boogie.
Right.
This is Willie's on-stage amp only, which is behind him, which is
Right.
a Mesa Boogie Triple Crown 100.
Right.
3 channels, awesome sounding amp. We also have the Quad Cortex that we run through the amps and the ears,
Right.
and as a spare backup. We have
Yes.
drop tuner, quick tuner, the drop pedal, power, radial, wireless.
Yes.
Another Mesa Boogie Triple Crown 50, which is our spare on stage amp.
Okay.
Jesus himself that watches over Willie.
That's right.
Move over here to John, who has the opposite of Willie. He has the
Okay.
Bathos. And the Bigfoot, of course.
Hey.
And this is our incense burner. We have 2 of these going
That's
constantly. Scored picks, as you see.
Yes.
And I hate to see him fly in the crowd every day, but that's what they do.
Yes.
And John's rig's Furman radio switcher. This is where we switch all the guitars. 4 amps. His amps consist of a Sans amp, special weapons in here. We have the Solo Dallas,
Solo
Micro
Dallas.
Bass 3,
Right.
a drop pedal for him as well.
and our Sans amp, and then of course the massive EBS 802s and our beautiful ABS 810 cabinet.
That's right.
And that's John's rig. It powers it.
Yes.
It's the whole thing.
That's right. That's right. Thanks, Carlos. I appreciate that.
Thank you guys.
All right,
Appreciate
all right.
you, buddy.
All right. Here's DJ right here.
The Bandits.
Oh, the bandit.
This dude keeps us safe.
That's right, he does. Good man right there. Woo. Thank you, Carlos. That was it. All right. We're sitting here, Phil Demo.
Hey, what's up?
Phil's getting himself a little shade before he hits that deck.
Shade, gotta find the
It's
shade.
a bright ass
Chase the
stage
shade.
up there in Austin, Texas. Yeah, he's about to rock that shit with Kerry King.
What's up with you?
Oh,
what do we
look
got?
at that. It's
Oh,
the temperature.
Almost 100.
That's the Crew from Hell 2.0
Yeah, man.
video. That's your boy Phil Demo.
Good to be here, man.
You
I
see
watch
him?
all your bids.
Oh man, you're
Super
the best.
fun. Super fun.
Like this guy right there.
Went for
Much
a
love,
run
Phil.
today in the fucking 94 degree
Woo, it's crazy.
urban track.
Where you about to run a little bit more on deck?
Yeah, 40 minutes. I think I can handle it.
You can do it. Fucking monster
Good to
right
be
here.
here.
Phil Demo. All right, y'all. That's right. You're missing out tonight, bro.
Right, man. Come on, where you at?
Where you at,
Where you
bro?
at? Where you at?
Bro, where you at? One more jam. Carlos, looked like a successful show.
Fucking great show.
Fucking great show.
I'm sweaty.
Yeah, he is. He's badass and sweaty. Thanks, Carlos. Appreciate you.
We do right here.
Right. Look at that. The ambassador right there. That's right. Carlos is one of them guys. He's the best. Looks out for everybody.
What you doing,
All
man?
right,
What you
man.
doing? Some video over here
What?
on stage, right?
What? What's up? That's my
Legendary dude right here.
brother from another.
Look at that. Oh my
shit.
God, same tone. Look
Who's
at that.
handsome? Who's
That is
handsome?
little.
Who's handsome?
These guys. Doppelgangers here, they call us.
Your boy
Yeah.
John Campbell, look out.
Stage right crew.
Stage right crew.